Oh my God. If you find yourself in a situation where a relationship solution comes to you in an Excel spreadsheet, guys, it shouldn't be that hard. It really should not be that hard.
Hi, Spinsters. Welcome to another episode of Where's My Spinoff? I'm your host, Corinne, and this is Brittany.
And I'm Brittany. Hello, Spinsters. How are you?
We scream into the ether.
Right.
Well, I wanted to. We're gonna get to a bunch of things today, but I wanted to kick it off with this is not. I cannot figure out how to make this funny, but it is pertinent for those of you who are fans of my first season of Survivor in Gabon. My close friend from that season is Randy Bailey, and I think I've on this podcast talked about how we had jokingly said if something were to happen to him. Like, we want to make sure I marry him so that I'm with him for 9 months and I can have his social security. Uh-huh. Well, that joke is all fun and games until December when we found out he was going to have open heart surgery. I asked him if I could talk about this. So I am just letting you guys know I'm in a little bit of a weird space. He's in surgery right now. He'll be in surgery for 7 hours. I'm on a text thread with Chris Hammonds, who did Amazing Race with us, is there in Wichita with him. And it's me, Chris, Brett LaBelle, and T-Bird, and we're getting regular updates. So I might here and there be checking my phone. But we wish him the best. And I talked to him last night and, he's still very, very funny given the circumstances, but obviously they have to crack his chest open and it's scary as shit. So we're all wishing the best for him. And he's really not on social media, but I will forward any messages that you guys send to him. So anyways, let's get started.
Well, all of our healing vibes once the surgery is over. And I'm sure he's in very capable, confident hands and things will go well for him. So your Social Security dollars are not secure yet.
In jeopardy?
They're not in jeopardy. We're fine here. He
called me to tell me, he's like, I have some bad news. And he explains the situation. There's a bunch of things going on with him health-wise, but he didn't know any of it because he didn't have Medicare. So he was uninsured until November, the very first appointment he goes to.
Oh, yeah. What a nightmare.
He goes to thinking he has, he had basically a swollen lymph node that he was concerned about. And he goes in and they're like, in order to do a biopsy, we have to clear you for the biopsy. So they do a quick heart test. I'm going to screw this up and he's going to yell at me, but when they do the heart test, they realize he has a heart murmur. Well, when they look into that, it turns out he has a leaky valve and needs open heart surgery. He also has cancer. That's what the lymph node was. So we're in a world of shit over here. And the worst part is we didn't get married first. So
no, you did not get married first.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now to complicate matters further, you're calling someone boyfriend with a B. And so it's like,
I know.
Do you even want to fill the slot? I'm not sure because we now have options. It's very dicey, this situation.
I was on the phone with Randy on speakerphone at my boyfriend's house last night. And I was like, do you still want to get married? Should we get married during radiation? And my boyfriend's looking at me like, what the fuck is happening? I forgot to tell him any of this.
You were single and so many months into dating now you're getting married, but not to me. This is all I'm very perplexed. That's great.
Yeah. So it's caused some problems.
Well,
but in other relationship news, I'm dying to talk to you. So last week you were in Hawaii, which we want to hear all about.
Yes. I was in Hawaii. It was great. I mean, there's not a ton to say. It was a great little trip. I mean, you would have hated it. We stayed at the Disney Aulani Resort in Ko'olina. So you would have hated it. There's a Four Seasons next door for you. So I can recommend the area. But yes, definitely very child friendly. Definitely suspect the alcohol is watered down to a dismal 20% strength.
That's so annoying.
I drink almost never, Corinne. I'm basically just a social drinker. If I go out with my friends, I drink, but otherwise, if I'm at home, it's just not something that I really do a lot because I get such terrible, crippling hangovers. And so I could sit there and drink those frozen drinks literally all day long and never even feel touched. It was I'm pretty sure it's watered down to to nothing. There's absolutely nothing in those drinks. You would hate it. It would be hell on earth for you. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had a great time. Had a great time with the family. I made them all go on a whale watching cruise. I'm weirdly into whales. It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't have to. But I love the opportunity to see a whale in the wild. Like, I want to go out of my way for it.
I'm a huge whale fan. I had the poster for Free Willy on my wall from like the second that movie came out for like 10 years. It said, a 12-year-old street kid, a friendship you could never imagine, an adventure you'll never forget. Free Willy, how far will you go for a friend?
Have you listened to the podcast about the Free Willy whale?
No, I don't want to listen.
Cancel your plans for the weekend, Corinne, because you got to get into the story. I listened to the entire thing. It was done by the New York Times, but it was like a short mini series. I think there's like 6 episodes. Enthralling content, honestly. And opens up interesting questions about rehabilitation of performative marine life. Anyway, none of that has a place in today's conversation, but you should check it out. I'm all about the recommendations for you. I recommended Beth's Dad, which you enjoyed.
I love it. I binged the whole thing.
Come to me for your Rex. The orca, that story is really, really intriguing. Anyway, so I make my entire family go on this whale watching cruise. I know very well that my husband cannot tolerate water and or altitude. Like, he is only okay in these 4 walls at sea level. Okay. You take him anywhere else and he is unwell. I book it anyway because I'm like, he'll be fine. It's like, it's a few hours. Like, he'll be okay. Like, the water won't be that choppy. Like, he'll survive. Okay. To be totally honest,
and if he doesn't, who cares?
I was like, I want to see a whale, whatever. Oh my God. He tried to play it cool for the first like half, I would say. He was like pretending he was into it. He was singing some songs, which I later was like, you were singing. And he was like, I was trying to distract myself because they had like a radio playing. So he was like, I was trying to distract myself and pretend that it wasn't happening. But eventually there was no more pretending. He was down like in the bottom part of the boat, laying out as it was a sunset cruise. So Elton John, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me is blasting through the speakers as he is like laid out, trying everything in him to stop the vomit from coming up, just dying. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I have a little cold. On this like bench. And I was like laughing, taking videos of it because it was kind of funny, ironic that Elton John is screaming, "Don't let the sun go down on me." We have this like gorgeous Hawaiian sunset. We're literally watching the sun go down. And then meanwhile, the sun of Ryan's life, the metaphor for his wellness, is also sinking all at the same time. It was just like a really funny moment. Anyway, the boat pulls back into the harbor and I'm like, oh, we made it. Like, he survived. We're fine. Let's get up and go. And as soon as he stood up, he goes, no. And he runs to the edge of the boat. Projectile vomits into the harbor, splish splashing, 8 or 9 feet above the water, just projectile vomit. Fed the fishes in that little harbor.
I mean, he's such a fragile egg.
He is so fragile, such a weenie baby is what I call it. Not fragile. Yeah, I call him a little weenie baby, but it's like he literally can't exist anywhere except for in this house. This is the only place he's well. If he travels ever, like for business, whatever, it's always something. Like, he always like gets food poisoning or he has a migraine or like there's always a problem. He only is well. I say that he's like allergic from being away from his home because it's really true. He can't do anything. When we went skiing in Breckenridge, we had to rent oxygen. He had to sleep on oxygen. One of those like little tanks, because he was so sick. And in fact, we had booked one of the timeshare rates where, have you done this before where you have to go to the timeshare sales pitch to get a discount? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't do that. I know it exists. I can't do it.
Okay. So it was a really good discount. We were staying at a really nice ski resort. And so I was like, let's just book this rate. You can only do it one time because then afterwards they won't let you do it again. Like, you can't do it more than once. So I'm like, let's go to this little meeting. Anyway, it worked out great because when he showed up to the meeting wheeling in his oxygen tank, they were like, you can go.
Forget it. Yeah.
Like, you're not going to buy. It's clear what's happening here. You enjoy your discount and get out. Like,
Yeah.
no way this man wheeling in the oxygen is going to be a buyer. Anyway, yes, he got sick on the whale watching cruise. Other than that, though, pretty uneventful. It was nice. Like, the scenery is really gorgeous. While he was like near vomiting, since I didn't have anyone to talk to, I was like taking pictures of the, I don't know, what would you call it? The geography, the topography. I don't know which one it is. The geology. I'm not sure. Anyways, I was sitting into ChatGPT and reading all sorts of fascinating facts about, just like that. It looks very Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was filmed there. So it was really cool. It was a great time, a perfect time to get away. The longest month of the year is now a little bit shorter thanks to my vacation. And, yeah, I'm very happy, but nothing to welcome me back into Oklahoma like a freak snowstorm. Snowmageddon is coming for me in roughly 24 hours. Yes, we are all going to be shut in. Went to Costco yesterday. It's like the Hunger Games out there. People are killing each other over 3 half gallons of whole milk. I mean, people are panicking. This is what always happens if we have like any sort of snowfall activity predicted whatsoever. The shelves are wiped clean. It's like toilet paper in COVID. Like, everybody rushes to buy all these provisions, like that we're just going to be stranded and starve to death. And that is what is happening right now in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We are faced with a real threat of, I think they're saying like up to 12 inches of snow, which is just unheard of.
That's horrible.
It's unheard of. I know that in Denver, you're very well prepared for snow. Like
I'm never prepared for anything other than an after hours. Like, I always have enough alcohol in mixers. That's it. I don't have water. I don't have any
It's
food
really
here.
all you need, though. You have your staples. Those are your staple items.
I was once sponsored by a weed distributor, so I have a ton of gummies here. Like,
fantastic. You're ready.
My witch friend provides. I have tons of mushrooms. But as far as food, no, none to speak of. We are apparently getting something as well. And it was like, there might be exploding trees. Have you heard this?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that there was like an exploding tree risk. I didn't look into it. I assume that there's like a lot of moisture that could freeze in the tree. Am I like correct? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know where these trees are. I think that's something that would happen in like a place that normally doesn't get, right? Like Florida or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not prepared, and I didn't know anything until this morning. I've paid no attention. I've been living in a hellscape for like 2 weeks now. I went to a funeral in Florida, and then it was my birthday this weekend. And I don't know. I was like hysterically crying on my birthday. I hate birthdays. I still haven't looked at any of the Facebook messages.
I'm sorry.
I have had a rough time. And today my best friend is sitting in a surgery room with his chest cracked open.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot.
The exploding trees are very low on my list of problems.
On your list of problems. Just one of a long laundry list of issues. Well, I did listen. I think you were getting to what happened while I was in Hawaii. I did listen this morning to the podcast.
Thank you.
Episode.
This is the only slice of joy I have had. I also want to mention, remember how I couldn't get into my mailbox?
Yeah.
Well, when I did, I found out that the IRS is after me for close to $5,000 that I owe from 2023. And I freaked out. Turns out they made a mistake, not me. And I don't owe it, but now I have to contest it. It's just been shit. Like, January is a shit month. And it has just been horrible. Everything is a mess. But the joy I had was I recorded, last Thursday, the episode went out Friday. I didn't know how it would be received. I honestly would like blacked out. Like, I recorded it. I was so nervous to record it that like I listened back when it came out before I wanted to send it to anyone, like between Elizabeth and my friends. And I made her, I called her in the morning. I was like, hey, it's out. So if you want to listen, if there's something that like you're really upset about, I could ask them to take it down. And she goes, Corinne, I woke up at 3 a.m. because I knew it released on the East Coast. She's like, I've already listened to it twice, 3. I fucking love it. Thank you so much. And it warmed my ice cold heart. Like, she was here for it. Even though I made a couple mistakes here and there, she was like, You told the story perfectly. I would not edit anything. And I want to get your take, and I'm going to tell you what she sent me, because she was like, if I could have added one thing, it would be this. So what did you think?
Interesting.
And let me just, hold on. Let me set the stage. If you are somehow new to this podcast, our podcast format is always Brittany and I come on here. We talk trending topics, reality TV, whatever's going on in our lives. I don't often get into investigative journalism. In fact, I've never done that. And so I took the opportunity, because she was out, to get one of my friends, Francesca Hoagie, on and to go through this story. So if you haven't heard the story, go back and listen to the last episode, then come back here. Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, first of all, you did a great job with your investigative journalism. It couldn't even tell you were an amateur at it whatsoever. You did a really nice job kind of walking through the story and making sure that key points were made. I thought you did very well. I found myself, and I'd watched Tinder Swindler, and like I've been into these stories. And I think that one of the reasons that I'm always so hesitant to kind of give advice on relationships is because, number one, I've been married for 13 years. And so I've been out of the game for so long. And it's not like my dating history was so lengthy prior to getting married. Like I was, a child when I got married. So it's just, I'm always like hesitant, and I feel like I would sound really harsh, and I don't ever want to seem like just super harsh. But as you're going through the story, and especially when you got to the Excel spreadsheet portion, that part of my brain was just so activated where I was like, oh my God, it shouldn't be this hard. Like if you are having to seek an amount of help and then the solution comes to you in a Excel spreadsheet of how this is going to be okay, that beyond anything else, like beyond all the other red flags, which they were there, let's be real. Oh my God. If you find yourself in a situation where a relationship solution comes to you in an Excel spreadsheet, guys, it shouldn't be that hard. It really should not be that hard. And I just hate doling that advice out because I don't know, maybe I'm naive. Maybe something worked for me that's abnormal. You know what I mean? I hate to kind of put my own lens on everything else and criticize everybody else's process. But it just sounds so exhausting to me. And when I think about my own relationship, I'm like, it just shouldn't be that hard. It should be fun. It should be great. It should, it shouldn't be like overcoming all of these struggles.
Constantly.
Constantly. It should just be like, this is fun. This is a great time. And so that's why I always kind of feel myself filtering advice stuff around relationships, because I don't want to sound like an asshole. But how I really feel is it shouldn't be that hard of work. It really shouldn't.
I agree with you. And I also feel like there's certain, like, I used to talk about this with Franny, where it was like, there's certain things that are deal breakers. Like, for example, for me, children is a deal breaker, and there's nothing I could really do about that.
Right.
So once you identify that deal breaker, that's it. Case closed. The guy lived, over 3.5 hours away. Yeah. And he wasn't planning on moving, and she wasn't planning on moving. And that was established very early on. So they're doing this crazy commute. They're seeing each other almost never. And I'm like, hey, that's enough. If you told me nothing else, I'd be like, that's end of story.
Right.
Sucks
but
to
I
suck.
do.
I mean,
I like to be open-minded enough to lend myself to the reality that, like, when you really like someone, like, you're willing to really try and like really sacrifice. I don't even know if it's true. I think I just try to make myself feel nicer in my own mind for being so critical, because I too am like, okay, what are we thinking? Like from the get-go, I'm like, what are we thinking here? This is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to try that hard. It shouldn't be that much work.
I agree. Well, so the thing that I thought I would add, but it's going to be challenging because I need to cut out so many names in this, but I wanted to give you a taste, because she was like, if there's one thing, first of all, she suggested to me that I now interview the other girl that was involved. Oh, yeah. And I was like, I think we're going to close the case.
Oh my God. Now you really are like a full blown investigative journalist. You should open a separate LLC for this.
Yeah. But I want to say overwhelmingly, so many people were commenting like, I know someone this happened to. This happened to me. This was gripping. I like people really came out strong in support of this. And like, this morning, a patron wrote in and was like, is there a world in which you could have a different podcast altogether where you just go through Are We Dating the Same Guy type stories? And I'm like, not really, because I lived this for 3 years and I knew it, you know, to get somebody else, like, I don't know. While I'd love to give every girl a platform like this, Elizabeth's the only one that gets the gift. But she wanted me to add, she was like pissed that she hadn't sent this to me. He deleted his Facebook. So I thought she did not have the crazy, you know, what he's waiting for the perfect caption and he's writing this year in review
too. Yeah, that was crazy.
Okay. So I knew how crazy it was because I had read it, but I also knew he deleted the Facebook. I didn't know she had a screenshot. And so she gave it to me and I thought maybe you guys would enjoy hearing it because it'll give a little more color to the situation. Now remember, this man got engaged. That is the purpose of this. It's only October, so the year in review, it's a weird time for that anyway.
That is October. A weird time. Yep, that's weird. And this is the post that was blocked, that she was able to tell was blocked by certain people. Okay.
Yes. And I want to mention he does this on October 24th. They got engaged the last week of August. I mean, he's sitting on this news for over, you know, almost 3 months. Yep. He starts it off. And again, I'm going to have to cut a bunch of shit out, so bear with me. This year has been great so far. I'm still kicking, healthy, at peace, and learning that life tastes better when it's lived, not posted. From the sun-kissed coasts of Spain.
So we're how many sentences are we in and we're still not engaged?
No.
We're
not
just
even close.
We're just still happy to be alive.
From the sun-kissed coast of Spain to the timeless hills of Italy. From the heart of Russia to the blue embrace of Greece, I found myself tracing the edges of every European peninsula, Iberian, Apennine, and Balkan. Each journey was a chapter written not alone, but shared with my parents and friends who brought laughter, inspiration, and the best stories along the way. The brightest scene of all came when I got down on one knee and asked Elizabeth to share this wild adventure forever. Her yes echoed in the night, a night of love and laughter as we celebrated among friends at such and such work, wine, dinner, fundraiser event. I'm deeply grateful for all the people who make this life rich and real. First to my parents for their love and support, and to my sister and her family for their hospitality and warm welcome. Thank you to this person for the inspiration and the many training rides. To this person, and this person for being great listeners and friends. To my hunting buddies, this person and this person for the laughter and adventures. To blah, blah, blah for his wisdom and friendship. To blah, blah for their never-ending loyalty. And thank you to all my other friends in these two places. The list goes on. And most of all, thank you to my fiance, Elizabeth, for being part of my life and sharing this wonderful journey. To wrap up this annual update, I would share my favorite quote from the Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right. Says Morgan Freeman's character Red. We all have a choice in how we live, how we spend our time, and what we give our attention to. First of all, let me pause there. He was spending his time with multiple women and giving his attention to multiple women. And so it's odd that he wrote this. Too often I see people lost behind glowing screens, scrolling through a world that isn't quite real. For me, time is precious, a currency of moments that I'd rather spend living, breathing, and exploring the world beyond the feed. Some birds are not meant to be caged. That's why for me, the choice is clear. He mentions a city where the sun is shining, the birds are singing, and the chessboard is ready. What the fuck kind of engagement announcement is this?
What kind of an engagement announcement mentions the Shawshank Redemption? What? This has to be the only engagement announcement in the entire world that has ever brought the Shawshank Redemption into it. Mm-hmm. No, none other exists. That's insane. Also, it's such like a thrown right in the middle of this terrible sandwich is like BT Dubs got engaged. Then I went to Vienna. Yeah, like he thinks 14 other people. That is the worst. You know what would be wild? I wonder if he had a similar announcement for the other girl and if we could do a compare and contrast. Like did he mention the Green Mile in the other one? Like what what did we do? I would love to like see them side by side and see how much of the same like type of content he used in both.
I mean, when I read it, I was like, this, first of all, I would never date a man that's so self-indulgent to think anyone's going to read that essay, right? This opus that he's written. The year has been great so far. Like, fuck, get off. No.
And by the way, he's also trying to subtly say, like, I don't really post online. I'm more of a live in the moment type of guy.
Yeah.
And it's like a novel of how great his year has been traveling around so far. Also, didn't he once condemn her for using too many filler words?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, what? This is wild.
I thought you might enjoy that. And like, I kept saying, because I listened back to the podcast and I'm like, he sent her these flowery emails, but I didn't give you an example. This is the style he writes in to her and the other girl all the time.
Oh,
I mean,
my God. I would love to see some direct comparisons. Bring me that, because that would like actually really fascinate me. Like, was he writing in the same thing sometimes? Like, did he announce that engagement? Do you know if their rings were similar, or like
no?
did
So
he get a BOGO deal?
The other girl did not get engaged to him.
Oh, okay. They just dated.
So but she got tons of emails, and I have those, like where I mean, he speaks like this to both of them all the time, and they're very copy and paste. Yeah. But when he didn't want to move, I remember he sent her this lengthy text that she had me read, and he was like, "While I love you deeply, I would always look out the window and long for the town of Vale, where I feel my heart." I was like, dude, this guy's a loser. I mean, I don't
know. And I get that she was thinking like, this is cultural, whatever. But oh my gosh, this is so bad. So bad.
I would not. I know.
Can you imagine the yes echoed through the mountains? Like, what? So terrible.
Gross.
It's so gross.
I'm very anti-poetry, and I do not I don't want you to write a song about me. I do not want to get a poem about me. Years ago, one of my friends, Sammy, she had this boyfriend who was, there was a million things wrong with him. He wasn't a bad guy like this one, but he was just, I didn't want her to end up with him. But anyways, it was her birthday the next day, and we were on the roof at night, and he's like at her house, and he's like, "Can I talk to you privately? I want to discuss Sammy's gift with you." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would definitely like to
I feel
clear."
like I know where this is going. Continue.
It was a poem.
Okay.
And as he starts unraveling, he opens up like a little notebook, and he's like, "So I've written this about Sam." And I go, I'm begging you not to read it to me. I'm
Please
begging
don't.
you. He's like, "No, it's really good." And I was like, I cannot. So I now sit on this until he reveals to her big gift is a fucking poem.
Yeah.
And we have laughed and laughed about that. But I say to you guys, if a man writes like this, or poetry or any of that, no,
it's not real.
It's a no for me.
It's not. It's also not. It's not real. And where I thought you were going to go, though, which I think is one step for me personally, one step worse than a poem, like hand deliver me a poem and a card. I am going to feel a certain type of way about it. But what's worse is if you try to give me like a one-on-one, or even in a small group setting, musical performance. Nothing makes me more deeply uncomfortable than the acting that you have to put on me now to pretend that I am in any way enjoying this very uncomfortable, individualized, tailored performance. I hate it so much. Has that happened to you? I feel like it definitely has to have at some point. Has he ever whipped out the guitar and sat on the edge of the bed and been like, "Let me strum this one out for you. I got a message." It's so uncomfortable, Corinne. Nothing makes me more uncomfortable than a very intimate musical performance.
So I don't mind, like it depends on the context of it. Like years ago I'll just name drop for no reason. I was friends with John Mayer, and I used to go after party at his house all the time. And I was constantly like, "Can't you pick up your fucking guitar?" Because who wouldn't want John? He would never do it. I had been to after parties at his house many times, and never once did this man sing a fucking note. But we can all agree, in context, that would be lovely.
Yeah, like invite me to the Taylor Swift listening party. I'm there. Like, fine with that. But I don't want like a written by you song delivered only to me. No, not unless you're John Mayer. Like you have to be there's a certain level of appropriateness, but not amateur. Let's say amateur.
No.
No amateur performances.
You know, I find that, and I haven't had to do this often, but I have friends trying their hand at comedy and I have to go to their comedy show. And that's the worst. I think that's worse than the singing thing. I mean, I have friends that are really good comedians, like Al, my old podcast partner. He's fantastic. That's a different story. I have friends that are trying to dip their toes into comedy. And I'm like, I have one friend that like sends me like videos of her comedy. And I'm like, I
know. It's kind of like when you have to open a gift in front of someone while they're watching you, and maybe you even like, I maybe really actually enjoy the gift, but it's like feeling like I have to, like, I don't know, be expressive in a way that, you know, is like grateful and happy, and like the pressure is crippling. And I hate all situations like that where there's like an expectation. Nothing is worse than like when you go visit your parents and your dad is like, oh, I have to show you this video. And you're like, oh God, like,
oh,
I have to, now I have to be
I'm going to give you,
you know, it's the worst.
I will give you a perfect example. So on my birthday, Jessica, one of my best friends, came to town, and we had a whole dinner. Then we all went to the livestock show. Then we had drinks afterwards. And at drinks, she was like, I want everyone to go around the table and say something they appreciate about Corinne. And I was like, please no. And she's like, yes, we're doing it. And I was like, I want to cut a hole in the ice and drop through the bottom of this fucking bar. Yeah. Like, I did not like it. It was so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable. The expectation of the gratitude performance. Oh, I hate it. And
it was so sincere. Like, she was like tearing up, and I'm like, this is like me being present for my eulogy. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know how you feel.
I get it. I totally understand.
So I had a quick question for you, because this is it's my first time doing this. Have you ever cut Ryan's hair?
Never. He would not let me. I would love to try just to amuse myself, but obviously he would not even let me try. There's no way. There have been times where he's been between haircuts, and for whatever reason, he like couldn't get in for another couple weeks or whatever, and he's had me just like trim the back, but not anything on that. I would love it, but he won't let me.
Well, the dentist is currently seeing patients with a large bald spot in his head because
he let you. Yeah.
He asked me, he's been begging me. He's like, his hair grows insanely fast. So he has to get it cut every 2 weeks, and it's annoying. So he made me go with him to this salon. It's $50 each time. Then you have to tip. I had to go to the salon with him, and Maria, the woman who's cutting his hair, agreed to like teach me while she was cutting it. I took notes in my phone and videos. I retained nothing. I'm like, the guard on, the guard off, fade up. Like, I was so confused.
God.
And
no amateur could do that. I don't feel. There's no way I could do it. No way.
Well, I did it. I mean, he bought me like $500. He bought me a backpack that all the guards and there's a spray bottle, and then there's scissors, and then there's combs, and I'm an unlicensed salon owner currently.
Wow.
And
okay.
He looks crazy at work today.
In COVID, I did try to groom one of my dogs. I have a doodle, which is like that poodle hair, you know, that's really curly. And I tried to groom her because all the groomers were closed or whatever. Oh my God, it was so sad. Like, she knew too. You could tell that she was embarrassed. Like, she even knew that something went very right. She looked like she had the mange. Like, she looked like she was very, very sickly and about like a coyote with the mange that came straight out of the woods. It was the worst, most terrible haircut. And I think that that's a big contributor into why Ryan is like, no, I saw what you did to the dog. You will never come near me with shears.
I think he just thinks like it's really inconvenient to continuously, literally every 2 weeks go in. Like, can't you just learn to do this? So he was he's very sweet. So he was like, you know, you're going to get better at this. And I was like, no, why can't it just be that I'm bad at this and you just go back to the salon? Why do I have to work on my craft?
That doesn't seem that hard, but it actually is really hard. It's actually very hard. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it is.
There was, I mean, 4 different like techniques. And then at the end, I have to take a comb because I've got him in. My parents hate when I use this expression, but I really like the Hitler Youth haircut. It's long on the top, shaved around the sides. I actually asked Maria because unfortunately I Googled Hitler Youth haircut and then I went to show her the picture on my phone and that's what it said. And I tried to cover it up and I go, do you have a better name for this? She goes, it's a business cut. And I'm like, it's not. It's this business of marching. Like it's a pretty specific haircut. Anyways, so I gotta keep it long on top.
That one will not be going in the library. That name will not be going on the list of what to ask Maria for.
No.
No.
And she goes, it's a classic cut or a business cut. And dentist is looking at me like, no. There's no reason you needed to tell her that. There's no reason you couldn't have edited the photo so that it didn't say what you Googled. It was just like the search and then the photo, you know?
Yeah. Well, this goes into, I wanted to bring up to you the only thing happening in pop culture this week, but it's kind of a nice segue because I was saying that, so some texts have come out between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, and this is like blowing up the internet right now. And so I was dissecting them and talking about it with my friends. And I said, if my text got leaked, I wouldn't be embarrassed the way Blake Lively should be. Like if I'm Blake Lively, I'm going into hiding. I'm turning Amish, whatever I need to do. What
do they say? Give me a taste.
We'll get to that. I will never let my face touch the sun again. Like I am fully living underground. It's so embarrassing. I would not feel that way if all my texts got released. Would I be labeled like a bad person? Maybe. But not an embarrassing one, not one without shame or dignity. I would maintain my shame and my dignity if my texts were released. I would, if my search history though, that's what I think would do me in. Not an embarrassing search history, depraved. Is that what I feel I would be labeled as? And so I was like talking to my friends about it. I was like, but I would feel none of the embarrassment that Blake Lively should be feeling. I don't participate in texts. This is not how I talk. Like you can take my text, but please don't come after my search history for a completely different reason. And I feel obviously with what you're Googling on haircuts is probably the same story for you.
I have some similar issues. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pulling up the text now, but okay. And I asked Ryan last night. Now I should just ask you. I was like, Ryan, for $1 million, who is Justin Baldoni? Can you answer that question?
I know he's in a lawsuit and he was in a movie and it involves Blake, but I don't really understand. I found it to be sort of boring. Like at first I was like, ooh, because anytime somebody adjacent to Taylor Swift does something wrong, I'm super interested. Okay. That's where I came from. Now, then I was like this back and forth. I don't understand. I thought it was kind of like baseless.
Yeah, there's like a lot to get into with it, but it's to like not even touch on, well, I mean, you have to touch on the lawsuit part, I guess, but he was the director of a movie that Blake Lively was the lead actress in. This was an adaptation from a book. And essentially she disagreed with a lot of the creative choices behind it. And those two hated each other. They end up suing each other, which is how all of these text messages get exposed in the first place, is because it was a third party person who was involved, but they like subpoenaed her devices as a part of this lawsuit, this ongoing litigation. And these text messages were only unsealed within the last couple of days, and more keep coming out.
Did the movie come out? Because this is ruining the movie. No,
the movie came out, and
maybe it's helping. I don't know.
Listen, Corinne, this was the most embarrassing part of all, frankly, in my opinion, is that Blake Lively was like on the record thinking that she was going to get Oscar nominated for this movie. That is by all standards. I mean, I think I'm speaking fairly here, an objective opinion. We're not talking Oscars. Like we're talking could have been on Hallmark. We're talking like could have been straight to Amazon Prime. Okay. We're not changing lives with this movie. It's like a very kind of it's a romance story, but with like there's some domestic abuse in it. Trigger warning in this movie. Like it talks about domestic abuse, but it's not like not even close to Oscar. We're not even in that realm. Like
Okay.
it is a full like rom-com level. Okay. In the world of importance of movies, this is like rom-com level. So one of the most embarrassing things is that Blake Lively really thought that this performance was going to garner her like some serious actress attention. That in and of itself is pretty humiliating.
She had like a really good reputation because of Ryan, and like they were kind of cute together, and like they like joke online and stuff. And like in one foul swoop, she's completely ruined at least my image of her.
Oh, and Ryan looks like a complete psycho. Like his emails, because he like stepped in trying to damage control. They reached out to all their A-list friends to try to put weight behind it so that they could like overrule the director's vision or whatever. Like she basically said like, I was supposed to be just an actress, but nah, like I want to do it all. Like I want to change the script. I want to change the direction. I want to rewrite scenes. I want to do all this stuff. Whether it's regardless of whose side of it, because a lot of people say like this guy's sketch, like he sexually harassed her. Like she definitely has a camp that's behind her. But he has a camp that's behind him as well. I think just like bare bones facts is they disagreed creatively and then, you know, also had their personal misgivings against each other. But regardless of all that, her text messages with Taylor Swift that see the light of day are just so embarrassing, Corinne. They're just so embarrassing. I want to pull up specifically the ones where she, like this was alluded to early on in the scandal that she called Taylor Swift. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay, so in Game of Thrones, one of the main girls, Khaleesi, is the mother of dragons. And she, throughout the entire course of the series, she hatches these dragons. And since she's a Targaryen, they're loyal to her because dragons were like a Targaryen thing. This is a fictional reference to
I know. Oh, really? Is it fictional? The dragons? Thank you.
I got to really break it down for you here, Corinne.
Thank you.
Anyway, the point is, Blake Lively, we knew early on that she kind of alluded to Taylor Swift being one of her dragons, right? Like, I'm the mother of dragons and you're one of my dragons, as a tactic of intimidation or threat to this guy, right? That like, I've got Taylor Swift is when I'm Khaleesi and Taylor's one of my dragons. Well,
this is so bad.
It's so bad. In one of the texts,
I'm also like, how condescending to Taylor. Like, Taylor's way bigger than she is.
Well,
why is she acting like Taylor's her like henchman?
And actually, for Taylor Swift, she's getting out of this looking, but in my opinion, very sane and normal. Frankly, maybe like more grounded, normal, and mature than we even thought that she was prior. Like she's really not embarrassed. The only thing that we've learned about her that you could say is like pretty negative is that her publicist fully lies. Like anything that comes straight from her publicist said like, oh, she had nothing to do with this. Like she had no part in making this film because she didn't want to be part of this lawsuit. Like she didn't want to be brought into the lawsuit. And now with the unsealing of the text messages, it's very apparent that she was heavily involved with it. So it does sort of out her publicist for lying about her participation in it. But I mean, if I would much rather be called out for lying via my publicist than being embarrassing enough to be like, I'm Khaleesi and my friends are my dragons, bred with Cersei herself. You won't even understand the reference because you didn't watch Game of Thrones, but bred with Cersei herself. You're a dragon that was bred with Cersei herself. Can you imagine one of your friends texting you and saying that you're a dragon bred with, and then how would you respond to that? That would be so deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that the response from me would be a positive one.
Right.
I don't understand. This is how, God, really, really famous rich people are sometimes so out of touch. Like they cannot have they don't have anyone telling them that this is not, you can't text this.
That is what is really like coming out about Blake Lively above all. It's just so painful. It's so painful to read. Okay.
So I was really rooting for the Justin guy. Is he going to come out on top? Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I thought that he tried to take down somebody who's very hard to take down, apparently a dragon master.
Yeah, the keeper of the mother of dragons, if you will, one of which is Taylor Swift. Is he going to come out on top? I think it's very embarrassing for her. It's humiliating for her and Ryan Reynolds. So right now he has the advantage. Even if he doesn't win in court, like whatever the lawsuit terms are, the fact that all this has been exposed is so deeply humiliating that yeah, I would say probably worth his while, because there was a point in time early on when it was all the discourse was very pro Blake, right? Like everyone was like, oh, this guy must be a total creep. Like all these women, the cast hates this guy. And now through the surfacing of these text messages, you kind of realize like, oh, the author of the book unfollowed him on social media, and people were like, oh my God, even she hates him. Well, she said in her deposition, I unfollowed him because Blake told me to. And so I was like, okay, I will. Like she was really like rallying people, like trying to really rally this anti-him sentiment.
I mean, I respect a mean girl. I mean, this is bullying at its best. I respect that. I didn't know. But I thought this guy had big cojones to do this.
I don't feel like you would like die over the text messages if I can ever find directly the one. They're so hard to decode because they're like the names are
blacked out.
And stuff. But what she said to him at the time when it came out is, if you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons, for better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise you. Okay, that's what she said. That's what yes, that's what she said directly to him. So that was when we knew early on that like she had this like comparing Taylor Swift to a dragon. That was what he was saying. Like she was trying to use like intimidation or threat or whatever. Yeah. But so then directly to Taylor Swift in these text messages, she says to Taylor Swift in so many words, you are a dragon. Like you're one of my dragons, but you're bred with Cersei herself, which is another character from Game of Thrones. And it's so cringy. It's the cringiest things you've ever read in your entire life. And Taylor Swift responded and was like, I just envision you whispering Dracarys, which is like another Game of Thrones reference, while I fire off text to Austin, and then like a little dragon emoji.
I'm really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. I think this is like
you should be deeply uncomfortable.
But okay, the only person we care about in this whole scenario really is Taylor Swift. Like Justin, nobody knows. Blake Lively, who cares? But Taylor is kind of like a god. So I'm having a hard time understanding how she's this close of friends with this fucking Looney Tune in the first place.
I know. It's deeply unsettling. I mean, she's godmother to their children. And if you have a friend who is regularly talking to you like this, it's screaming unhinged, like screaming. I don't know. Now, the texts that Taylor sends, apart from that one, are all like pretty reasonable. Like they're pretty mild. I mean, people are freaking out that she called him a little bitch, but I'm not. I'm like, that's fine. If my friend...
But that's talking normally. I would all day take texts, he's got a little dick, whatever. I'll talk in that language.
Especially when it's your friend and you're getting the one, like she doesn't know this dude. You're getting her one side. You're going to immediately be in defense of your friends. Like if my friend texted me today and said, oh, I had this person come in, they blah, blah, blah. I hate that guy. Like, I don't know him. Mm-hmm. Maybe, she might be wrong. Who knows? But immediately, like you're in defense of your friend. So her calling him a little bitch, I mean, I don't think that's
totally fine.
A big deal. That's normal. I don't know that I'm in defense of someone who texts me, I've never felt more like Khaleesi. I have dragons, except my dragons are bred with Cersei herself. No, I don't think that's where I switch sides. Now I'm actually on the other guy's side.
I mean, what I would be doing, if we're being honest, if this was the texts that were coming into me, I'd be on another thread with a different group of friends, screenshotting these and making fun of her.
Crazy. She's crazy. Yeah. I know. You're right. It's so detached from reality. Like the way that she speaks is just so weird. It's weird. And it's like she is living in a different world where the self-importance is through the roof and has no one is like checking her and being like, what are you talking about? What are you doing? Like this is not that important. This isn't that big of a deal. Like she was so self-absorbed, and it really like resonates through the way that she just talks. It's just wild. Anyway, it's all coming out. I'm sure Taylor Swift is very, very unhappy about, more than anything, because it's not particularly bad for her, just being associated with it. Like she's just like really in this mess now.
She has like a highly procured image, and this is, and also it was messy that like she stopped showing up to games with Blake. Like it seems like she's trying to distance herself, and I don't know. I honestly, if that really was your best friend and you were really entertaining texts like this, I would fucking ride for her. I would let her come to the games. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like how shitty was your friendship that you were just like, oh God, she's in trouble. Distance. Like,
well, okay.
I don't know, man.
To read into it further, Taylor Swift did, like, this was exposed in the text messages. Blake Lively reached out to her at a certain point and said like, hey, I feel like there's a weird distance. Like you're not talking to me as much. And Taylor Swift wrote a really nice response. It was basically like, to be totally honest with you, you sound kind of weird in your texts. Like you sound different. And I feel like I'm getting like corporate emails that are going out to 200 people when you talk to me lately. And it's just, it has made me feel a certain type of way. I'm just being honest. And, you know, I love you and I want the best for you, but I kind of want you to come down a little bit. Like you're acting crazy. You're in a manic spiral, basically. She tries to nicely tell her this. And I mean, it actually made Taylor look super good that she responded in this very like mature adult way that was completely rational, right? Like very, very nice response. So that was even before the timeline of those text messages was before any of like anything had really come out and before she was publicly distancing herself from her. So it was like there really was something going on between the two of them. Like basically Taylor knew she was acting crazy, like early on, kind of before she started publicly distancing herself from her. So I think she gets a little bit of a pass because it was clear that like there were actual kind of like hurt feelings before she even knew that the whole world was going to find out that she was a freak. Taylor already knew. And was already like, yeah, I'm probably going to back out, you know, going into the hedges. Is that his name? You know who I'm talking about?
Homer.
Homer. I don't watch that show. There's one I don't watch. I do watch Game of Thrones. I can sit here and Daenerys Targaryen you all day, but I don't know Homer Simpson. Don't know that guy. Just the name.
Okay, I want to get to emails before we finish up. So pick your favorite one. Wheresmyspinoff@gmail.com is how you can reach us. We love to hear from you. And we didn't get to emails on the last show because we ran out of time. So we are going to get to at least one email, maybe two today.
Oh my gosh. There's so many good emails and you're going to make me pick one?
Well, we have time for two.
Okay. Because I'm like, oh my God, how are you going to make me just pick one or two? Okay. No, I'm not doing that one. Okay. Dress shopping from hell. Hi, Corinne and Brittany. I've been a fan of Corinne since day one and have just discovered her newest podcasting partner in crime. I'm loving the pod. I have a dilemma I think I could use both of your input on. I do not need to be anonymous. So this is coming from Mindy. Thank you for listening, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
I am 34 years old, 4 months postpartum, and due to be my mom's matron of honor in April. My mom and I were dress shopping a couple weeks ago, and it was not great. Despite being only 5 to 10 pounds above my pre-pregnancy weight, my body is just not what it was before. I lost a lot of muscle mass while pregnant. My body just feels like a totally different shape in addition to size. Trying on dresses was humbling. Styles I stuck to before looked terrible. I tried on several dresses, and they were all hell no's. My mom decided to help and went to pick out some dresses for me to try on. She came back with 3 dresses. I shit you not, they all looked like dresses a Midwestern meemaw would be wearing to their grandkid's wedding in 2005. They were a very high scoop-necked, floor-length dresses, zero skin showing, with sequins beaded applique patterns. I humored her, tried them on, and thankfully she didn't like any of them. At this time, I called it quits and said I'd look online. Later that night, she sent me another dress online. It legitimately is labeled under Mother of the Bride dresses. What the hell do I do? My mom is trying to dress me in something designed for someone her age. I will add, my mom is very conservative and is having a full-blown Catholic mass. I have decent-sized boobs at baseline and I'm breastfeeding, so I'm sure she's concerned about the amount of cleavage showing. Also, when I got married, I eloped, so maybe this is payback. Corinne, Corinne, I think would say tits maximally out. I'm curious, Brittany, if you have words of wisdom for dressing a postpartum body, but most importantly, how do I deal with the fact that my mom is actually looking at mother of the dried dresses for me to wear? If no advice can be given, please feel free to laugh with me about this ridiculous situation. Mindy.
What a great email, Mindy. First, I want to say, to only be 5 to 7 pounds over the weight you were and only 4 months postpartum, like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Like I'm kind of feeling like you're in a situation where I can't imagine your body is that bad. Like if you're 5 to 7 pounds over a goal weight, even if forget the pregnancy, like I feel like you're being put in a predicament. Look, I don't think any of these types of dresses are good dresses. Like I think you're unfortunately stuck in a situation where it's already hard to find a dress. And now you feel like 5 to 7 pounds is making a difference when in reality, it's just the fashion and like if you're being forced to wear like Amish, like high neck all the way to the floor, like ain't nobody going to look good in that. And you got to keep your tits covered. I mean, how do you make your waist look small?
Bridesmaids dresses are a cliche because the narrative is everyone on earth looks bad in a bridesmaid's dress. And is it intentional on the bride's part? We don't know. But the point is the storyline is everyone hates a bridesmaid's dress. So I think that you're correct on that, Corinne. I also just have the most sympathy. I was in a wedding when I was I think like 3 months postpartum with my second baby. I guess this is your first baby, I think. So I've been through this. I've been through it. It sucks. I almost feel like this is unhelpful advice. You're not going to like anything. You need to just embrace that fact because your body, it's not even just the pounds. I understand what she's saying when she's like, I lost muscle mass. It's also like your rib cage expands so much. This was something I did not understand before I had children myself. I used to think that like, I don't know, I didn't realize how much your actual rib cage expands out to make room, especially me because I'm really short, for the baby and doesn't go back down. Like forever your rib cage is like wider, much, much wider than it used to be. And your waistline is much wider than it used to be. Even if you lose the weight, like you can't really change that no matter what you do. So it's a time for you to not be hard on yourself. First of all, give yourself some grace, like you're 4 months postpartum, which is a huge ask. I realize it's your mom. It's a huge deal for you to show up and be in a wedding, period, full stop. To be available to go dress shopping, period, full stop. You're breastfeeding. That's another thing that you have to consider. How am I going to get this applique sequin itchy thing off to take my tits out and actually pump, breastfeed? It's a huge undertaking. There's a million reasons that you should be stressed. Just try to give yourself a little love and not let your body be one of them. Choose something that you can come to terms with and that's going to be logistically easier on you because like I said, with all the pumping and everything, the day of is going to be stressful enough. Try to choose something a little bit for utility, but that you'll also be able to live with, going forward. I would say stay really simple because you just can't go wrong. Over sequins and applique, would you agree, Corinne? Just stay super simple and timeless.
Yeah. I mean, get the fuck. No sequins, actually. None. I would not draw any attention.
The darkest possible color, because as a girl with huge boobs myself, they look worse the lighter the color is, and they look better the darker the color is. So like if we're doing blue, go navy.
Yeah. I
darken it as much as possible.
The only piece of advice as someone who doesn't go to weddings, never had children, and would never be told what dress to wear. In fact, my brother's wedding, I agreed to be the best man and I wore a black dress of my choosing that was incredibly slutty. I didn't wear underwear or a bra. And I stood on the side with the guys who were in black tuxes or black suits. I don't remember. I'm not going to be told what dress. I would have opted out of this. But here's my only advice to you. Find the fattest person at this wedding and stand next to them in every fucking photo.
Every photo.
Other than the photo evidence, nobody's really going to give a shit. You're going to look different in another 4 months, right?
Right.
It's just the photo evidence you got to worry about. So get your ass next to the fattest person possible. When you're on the dance floor, get the fatty. Let's dance next to her. Every video, every photo, we're going to have a comparison here where you're going to look sort of like fit and small.
Yep. And listen to me. Listen to me and go with the darker color and utility. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it was rough. I did like a high neckline situation that my boobs couldn't escape from unless I did a full undress. That makes for a very humbling experience when you have to breastfeed during the reception. Very humbling experience. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Mindy.
Thanks, Mindy.
Hope that we could provide.
Wait, Mindy, will you send us a picture of what the dress looks like that you end up in? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. What are you going to come up with? Okay. Hey, Brittany and Corinne, I am obsessed with the podcast. You two make me laugh so hard every single week. So thank you for being the highlight of my routine and keeping me sane. Speaking of sanity, this week my city had 56-mile-per-hour winds, which knocked out the power for a little over 4 hours. Shortly after the power initially went out, cell service also went down, leaving everyone in total chaos. Thankfully, everything was restored and all was well, but it definitely made me realize how unprepared I am should a situation like this happen again. So my question is, what are your top just-in-case things you'd have prepared for a situation like this, not only from a survival standpoint, but more importantly, mental health, sanity, preservation perspective? Because 4 hours without power was fine. 4 hours without power and no phone, terrifying. Would love to hear your thoughts and feel less unhinged for already planning my future bunker. Thanks again for all the laughs. Amber, a Canadian skank. Oh, Skank is one of my patrons as well. Hi, Amber.
I figured.
Yeah.
Hi, Amber. Well, we talked about this at the top of the episode. And I didn't even know this email was in existence. I always have a lot of alcohol and mixers. Always.
Yeah.
First of all, I want people, I feel like in some kind of end of world situation, I can trade what I have for other things. Yeah. But if all I have is water, I don't think someone's going to give me a bottle of vodka for the water. Yep. I have the power if I have the alcohol. That's how I feel. So at any given point, you come to my house, there's, a lot of alcohol and, legal drugs like mushrooms and weed. I don't even use really either of those, but I know the market value for weed is higher than if I have some lean cuisines here or what. I don't know what other people eat.
We have the same mindset, Corinne, except for I have a different currency than you, but that's okay. We're going to be able to trade.
What is it?
Pharmaceuticals. What do we
I have those.
Truly need in an apocalypse? Antibiotics. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to get into the hotbed, but I'm just saying, if I get a script written to me, I fill it. Doesn't matter if I don't need it.
Same.
Doesn't matter if I'm not going to take it. I go get the script and I lock it up. I am apocalypse rich. Now, I don't really want to out myself on it all, but I'm just saying, you need a Z-Pack in the apocalypse. Hit me up. It's going to be I'm upcharging. I'm majorly upcharging, but I am the dealer.
I have the same mentality. So it doesn't have any effect on me, oxycodone. And so, post-hysterectomy, they were like, well, do you want us to write you a script? I was like, sure do. Cause somewhere, sometime, that has street value. Yep. I don't know. Give it. It was $3 copay. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Take it. Yes. I hoard all medications. That's just a touch on the impending apocalypse. But if I were you in this situation, I'm assuming that you're home alone. I would just go to sleep, I think. I don't know. I mean, like, you can't watch TV. The electricity is out. If you got a charge on the computer and you happen to have shows downloaded, I guess that's an option. But who does? Who downloads things unless they're going on a plane?
I don't. I was present for the big, so we had 9/11, and then shortly after that, maybe a year later, we had this huge blackout in New York City, and it went on for days. And at that time, we didn't have internet on our phones. And so what did I do? Everyone came to my house and we partied because I had the alcohol. So again, I go back to, if you're bored, throw a party. We did that all the time. We even did that during hurricanes in Florida. Like we'd have a hurricane party.
If I were
Everyone goes to
going
one house.
if you do have to stay home alone and you are without electricity, I do have my Kindle, so I would be able to read. I would read and sleep. I think those are my two things. Those would be my survival needs in that.
The absolute last thing I would do is read. Like I really do not like reading. I'd rather stare at the wall. I'd rather organize my sock drawer. The problem with the blackout, which is the same problem with the loss of power, is it was pitch dark. And yes, my friends did come to my place, but I was the 8th floor in a high rise. So they had to trudge up 8 pitch dark stairs. And none of us had headlamps. There's no cell phone light or anything, but I had all of the goods. So everyone came to me.
You don't read. You should read. I read every single night. That's how I go to sleep. You know how some people doom scroll? Yeah. I go to sleep via Kindle every night. It's great.
Well, you are a classy broad. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I'm not reading anything classy. I read mostly murder mysteries. Like that's like my norm is a thriller. That's what I mostly read. But I read every night and now I'm like addicted to it, I guess. Like that's how I get tired.
I mean, I suppose that's a good addiction to have. I'm not doing it. Okay. Well,
I won't send you any books.
Thank you. The only book I've read, and I don't know how long, it was Franny's book. And it was because I had to, because her audio book wouldn't be out yet. Once the audiobook is out, I listened to it 4 times, but I listen to audiobooks, no problem. I just, the like sitting there and reading is, brutal to me.
Oh, that's so funny. Well,
I'd rather take up adult coloring. Like, I don't know. I hate reading.
I haven't tried adult coloring, but people swear by it. I do a lot of old lady shit. Like I love a puzzle, an old school puzzle. I'm a puzzle addict, but I don't really do the coloring.
You're a lot like Eliza in that way. She loves that stuff. Puzzles are fine. I'd rather that than reading. Reading is just genuinely the worst thing. I want to give a quick plug because I went to an estate sale, talk about old lady stuff. I went to an estate sale.
I love an estate sale.
There was fucking valet parking at this estate sale. There was like 80 people descended. I got there 2 hours after it started. It's 3 days long. 2 hours in, 80 people valet parking, like a ticketed event.
Yes, people show up early. People show up and line up in front of the door for an hour before.
I'm doing this mad scramble of like, okay, I don't need her furs. I saw pictures of them online. I already have a black and a brown fur. I don't want her furs. I don't want I put a bid on a piece of artwork that I didn't get, unfortunately. It was a full installation that was worth like $3,000 and I bid $400. I guess I was too little. Anyways, I go beeline it for this closet upstairs that no one seems to be at. And it's like shitty stuff. It's like the husband was a golfer. It's like his windbreakers. And it's just like any jacket in his closet, $20, any shirt, $5, whatever. But it's garbage, right? They're elderly people. Well, somehow they missed this jacket. So it's a fucking Bruno Mali, Italian leather, fur-lined fucking hood. It's vintage. I could easily sell it for $2,500.
Wow.
$20.
Nice. That's a score.
$20. I'm sad that it's not sitting next to me because I would put it on right now. It's so beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So in my old lady shit, I'm wearing, like, I dug in the pocket. There were like toothpicks and like a sucking candy. The other pocket had tissues. And I was like, I'm just becoming this woman is what's happening.
Oh, that's so funny. Good find though. That's great. I feel like I never get lucky at an estate sale. So I'm happy for you.
You know, I thought of you because at this one, I was in line behind this guy paying for a huge cardboard box filled to the top with Beanie Babies. And I was like, oh, is there a Princess Di in there? Yeah.
I know. People now send me like memes and screenshots all the time of like Princess Di Beanie Baby jokes, like my retirement plan, you know. Anyway. Love that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for another week of shenanigans. Let's all put our prayers up for Randy. He is going to be out of surgery in a few hours. You're going to hear this tomorrow, and he will be in ICU for 2 days. I will be talking to him, and I'll give him your well wishes. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye, spinsters.